Hello everyone, welcome back to Into Sports. I'm your host Evan, and today we've been blessed with a new big storyline in this offseason, Cam Newton to the New England Patriots. I couldn't have imagined it better. This is going to be a great thing to watch going into next year, so I want to talk about it right now. So, what does this tell us? Well, first of all, tell us Stidham is not the guy. I told you that. We knew that. Stidham, 4th round out of Auburn. We knew he wasn't going to be Belichick's guy. Belichick won Super Bowls, not 8-win seasons. So as far as the Cam Newton, the risk they take, well, there's no risk for the New England Patriots. It's a zero risk, massive reward type move. The reward is you get a guy who was an MVP, former MVP, went 15-1, brought his team to the Super Bowl, and the risk is he's not that good and you move off him next year, you get a good draft pick, got your next quarterback for the future. Zero risk, massive reward. So, some people are getting a little crazy. Cam Newton's not a top 5 quarterback, probably not a top 10 quarterback in my book, but he absolutely is a starter. I'll tell you this, he's better than Jared Goff. So that kind of gives you a sense where he is, 1 to 32. This story's fascinating. I'm just can't wait to see this in action. Cam Newton with Bill Belichick, that's quite a combo. So as far as Cam's skills, well, let's look at the positives to his game. First of all, huge arm. I mean, this guy throws lasers all over the field. He's a great runner. He's a physical runner, runs with power, breaks tackles, and he can make plays by buying time, scrambling in the pocket. Nobody's open. Well, I'm just going to make a big time throw into a tight window. That's Cam Newton's game, making plays off the script. But what are the negatives? Well, he's inaccurate. Too many missed easy completions. He's going to miss a few Josh McDaniels 8-yard slants that are open. But Patriots are going to have to live with that. And he has poor touch. He's a one-speed thrower. It's his 100-mile-an-hour fastball. He doesn't have a changeup, doesn't have an off-speed pitch. He just knows how to throw it 100 miles an hour. So he needs to work on that soft touch, throwing down the sideline. That's something he has to work on in his game. Also, one thing he did, I went back and watched the film with Cam Newton a few days ago. In 2018, his throwing motion, it was very choppy. He brings it back and then he just zings it forward. It's not very smooth. It also took a long time. It was a slow release. But then last year we heard that he improved his throwing motion, and yes, he did. Now it's more fluid, it's more smooth, it's more loopy, more rounded. I think it's going to give him more control of the football, less balls that he loses control of, and it's also a quicker release. Now, in the game against the Rams, where he really used that motion, he was actually pretty terrible with it, but I think it is something that he can develop and be good with. I look forward to see if he uses this new upgraded, improved throwing motion with the Patriots. As far as a fit with New England, well, we know the New England system. We've seen this for 20 years. It's about the short passing game. And I think that's the weakness to Cam Newton's game. Too many missed easy completions. Like I said, 8-yard slant, he's going to miss it occasionally. But here's where the fit is good. New England doesn't have very good weapons. Edelman, Sanu, N'Keal Harry, it's not very good. Those guys don't separate consistently. So he's going to be able to make a lot of plays off schedule where he buys his receivers time in the pocket, gives them more time to separate on the routes. And he's going to make throws while being tackled under pressure, something that Brady couldn't do last year. So I think Cam is going to be worse than Brady on what I call within system throws. That's an easy completion that McDaniels schemes up, something that's open, but he's going to be better off the script. So when there's no open receiver, Cam will run around and make a big time throw, something that Brady didn't do last year. But he's going to miss some easy completions, and that's the negative to Cam Newton. But off the script, he's better than Tom Brady. So is he an upgrade overall over Tom Brady last year? My short answer is no. But it's a very slight downgrade, I worry a little bit with the injury. That might be the deciding factor why I say it's a downgrade. He has a much better arm and he's more mobile. But at the same time, he's less accurate and he's a worse downfield thrower. Doesn't have that good touch. Brady made a lot of good plays with just lofting it over the defense right into the receiver's arms. That's where Brady was pretty good last year. Downfield throws. Cam Newton needs to work on his soft touch. So I think it's a slight downgrade. But here's what Cam Newton will really help New England next year. It's not in the passing game. It's actually in the run game. New England was 18th last year in rushing yards per game. Couldn't really establish the run with Sony Michel. But Cam is a huge threat on the read options. The defense really has to respect that. So they have to respect him faking the handoff and pulling it down the sideline. That's really going to open up the run game with Sony Michel, because you have to, give one or two extra defenders to try to stop Cam Newton because he's that big of a threat. What about this? Could he be the heir apparent to Tom Brady? My answer is yes, because they're not going to have a good draft pick next year. I think they're going to be good. Stidham, obviously not the guy. And Cam Newton seems like he's been in the league for a long time, which he has, but he just turned 31. This is when a lot of quarterbacks start hitting the prime of their career. Now, I know Cam Newton hasn't really had his prime years, last few years. He's been injured, but if he can stay healthy, be on the field, age 31, he could be the long-term option for New England. But he's going to have to stay injury-free. Otherwise, Belichick, he's just going to move on. If Cam Newton gets injured 2 or 3 times next year, he's not the guy. Cam Newton is coming off a Lisfranc injury to his foot. That's a very serious injury. I think that could hurt his mobility, specifically in the first few weeks. But again, he did have a long time to recover. This offseason, the last 14 games of last season, so he should be healthy, but I expect the mobility to be a little bit worse the first few weeks next year. Okay, here's the big question. Are the Patriots now Super Bowl contenders? Yes. I think they're the 6th or 7th best team. Here are my tiers of NFL teams. Kansas City, Baltimore, San Francisco, New Orleans. Tier 1. I think that's everyone's tier 1. Then tier 2, I like Philadelphia. Then that's where I like New England. Also like Denver, Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh. I think New England slots in right there with those teams. Why do they slot in with those teams? Well, Bill Belichick has a good quarterback. That's a lethal combination. I don't think he was going to be able to withstand him because you have to have competence at the quarterback position. Cam Newton absolutely gives them that. But the problem is this is probably the worst New England roster in a few years. Their offensive skill positions, Edelman, N'Keal Harry, Sanu, not very good. And Belichick really utilizes the linebackers on defense. That's a key part of the defense. In free agency, they lost Kyle Van Noy and Jamie Collins, 2-star linebackers. So I wonder how that's going to work out with Belichick. Is the defense going to be worse? I think it will be worse than last year. It was really good last year, but losing 2 key linebackers. I understand they went heavy in the draft with defensive players, but I think Van Noy and Collins are big losses with the defense. So I think the Patriots now win the AFC East. 2 weeks ago, I made a video saying they'd go 6-10 and be last in the AFC East. Now I think they'll go 10-6 and be first in the AFC East. I think that's the upgrade of Cam Newton over Jarrett Stidham. It's a big-time upgrade. I expect New England to be Super Bowl contenders, Tier 2 team. It's going to be fascinating this year with Cam Newton. It's going to be fun to watch. They're must-watch TV. It was going to be a little bit boring with Stidham. Now, it ain't going to be boring when you turn on the Patriots game on Sunday. Patriots, Super Bowl contenders. Thank you for listening to the Into Sports podcast. Click here to subscribe and here for a video I know you'll like.